Hello, everyone! Happy Monday. So, we have a very she's an Australian entrepreneur, copywriter, and SEO specialist, and she is the CEO of Kai Marie Digital Marketing. Hello! How are
Hi
you?
everyone.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm
How are
good. So,
you?
where are you calling in from right now? Because I know you're not in Australia anymore, right?
Uh, no, I am calling in from the United Kingdom. I'm calling in from Shropshire, actually, which is smack
Ooh,
bang in the middle
exciting.
of
So, what time
England.
is it over there right now?
It's currently 4 p.m. and I do apologize. I am quite sick, which is hence why my
Oh,
voice is a bit like all over the place. So I will be just
no
sipping on my
worries,
lemonade
no
throughout, but
worries.
yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to have you come on and just chat about your business journey. I know that you've had kind of a wild ride these past like what 2 years that you've been doing stuff. So yeah, you just want to share a little bit about
Yeah.
yourself.
Uh, yeah, so I'm 22. I've been doing a bit of freelance writing since I was 14. I used to do like work for local businesses nearby and self-taught myself SEO and started doing online courses. Um, and then I started out on Fiverr after being inspired by Alex Fasulo. Also did a lot of watching Rachel Pedersen and all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of how I fell into my business. And then within 3 months of putting my effort into my business full time, I went from earning like nothing on Fiverr to earning six figures.
Yeah,
And that's
that's
where we are
insane.
today.
That's literally insane. Like I don't know many people who started and then 3 months later it's like, oh, six figures just happened. That's insane. So would you want to talk a little bit like about how you were able to scale that quickly? Like was it all throughout Fiverr? Were you taking jobs off of Fiverr?
Yeah, surprisingly enough, that period, it was all through Fiverr. Now, though, it is not all through Fiverr. Yeah.
So you're working with like independent contractors off of the Fiverr space.
Yeah. Um, Fiverr was a great start 2 years ago, but now the big ticket clients are off of Fiverr. So I work through them with a lot of clientele and a lot of independent contracts off of Fiverr through
Oh,
LinkedIn and
nice.
through my own website.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember when I first got started on Fiverr back in 2020, it was awesome. It was a great starting out point for freelancing, don't get me wrong, but it's like the people on there just expected, like I know you're a copywriter, I was doing copy in the beginning too. It was like 1,500 words of copy for like $10 and I'm like, you're crazy for that. There's no way.
Yeah.
Is it
It's
really?
gotten even worse now. Yeah, it's gotten way more competitive, especially with copywriting. I feel like everyone and their mother now says that they're a copywriter or a content writer, and it's just become so saturated that, and especially with like scam artists, that it's just turned into a
Yeah.
bit
So
of
you
a
want to talk
wreck.
a little bit more about like what types of copywriting you do?
Yeah, so I'm mostly specialized in the website and blogs. I'm an SEO copywriter and also a UX writer, so I do a lot of micro copy for web development companies and for advertising agencies. I work a lot on a monthly basis with clients rather than on like short-term basis. And yeah, that's pretty much the overview of what I do now. I definitely do a lot of work in the NFT and in the real estate spaces rather than just do like generic copywriting. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm currently at. Looking forward, I kind of want to move more into the business coaching space. Uh, I definitely feel like I said before, my niche is getting quite saturated, so it's time for me to move forward into like a different kind of area rather than just like pigeonholing myself into just
Nah,
one
I totally
area.
get that.
So
Like,
yeah.
I'm in the same boat with the whole social media stuff. It's like I don't really want to just be doing like done for you social media services anymore. I'm trying to branch out more into like coaching and like I guess consulting and like talking more about business in general and like getting started because yeah, social media in general is just very, very oversaturated. I know it's the same with copywriting. Like everyone kind of got into freelancing back in when COVID was going on. So
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the key challenges of being a freelance business owner in this space is keeping up with the fact that things do rapidly change. I'm very much so a great copywriter, but people are just not going to pay my rates anymore when
yeah,
there's so much competition. That's just the simple reality of being a business owner, and unfortunately, I can't sacrifice my quality of work to like match people's budgets. So I've got to find something
yeah.
else to do. And
So are you one of those copywriters that's now like branching out into like AI more? Like what could you talk a little bit more about that?
yeah, AI is definitely something that I've started to dip my toes into. It's not really an area that I've investigated much. I do use a lot of AI within my business, and I do offer a lot of coaching because I help a lot of freelancers get started with their own businesses. And I do teach a lot of people how to use AI constructively in their business, but I don't necessarily use it myself. Um,
Yeah, I've used
yeah.
it a lot for my business, like especially with social media, where it's like you're stuck on like what to think of for like content ideas. Like it's great to have like kind of a communication back and forth of like, you know, give me a few idea prompts for this. Oh, could you elaborate on this? Like that's kind of what I use it for in like my business right now. But it's still so new that like a lot of the prompts that you give it, it doesn't really give you exactly what you're expecting back. So yeah. So I know you moved recently. How was the move? What prompted the move and everything? If you feel comfortable chatting about that.
I moved from Perth, Western Australia to England, which
Wow.
is over 12,000 miles. So pretty crazy, hectic move, yeah. Um, I just feel like I was pigeonholed in Perth. I didn't really like have a lot of friends, and the friends that I did have were very toxic for me. So I wasn't really growing where I was, and neither was my husband. So we made the joint decision to move like last year. Excuse me. But unfortunately, I moved in October 2022 and I got really, really sick. And my husband had to move over way earlier than we were anticipating. So we had to lose all of our savings. We lost all of our cats. It was just an awful time. And then we're slowly rebuilding again after that whole reset because that was a massive life event that we're
Yeah,
still
I can't even
recovering from. So,
imagine that.
yeah.
Like literally moving halfway across the world and relocating everything. That's insane.
Mm. Yeah, it was crazy. And it was definitely like, I don't know. I thought I was really prepared for it because obviously I own a house in Perth and I have like everything going for me there. But yeah, it was definitely threw a massive
Yeah.
curveball that I wasn't anticipating.
Doug's moving around in the background.
That's all right. I was sicker than I was anticipating, so I might not be
No
able to talk
worries.
for
Yeah,
a full hour.
we can
I
end
do
it whenever.
apologize.
But yeah. So what other topics do you wanna chat about? I know you mentioned you bought a home, which is really cool. So did that was the home in Perth, or was that in the UK?
Yeah, so that was a home in Perth. I bought it
Why?
when I was 19. Yeah, I bought it straight after high school. I did that by working like not like a minimum wage job, but like a mid-tier minimum wage job that I didn't have to go to university to do. So in my country, that was like working as a care assistant or working as like an assistant in nursing in like a dementia nursing home. But when I stayed there, I scaled up to being a nurse. And from working night shifts for like a year and a half, I just saved all that money up. And then I built a home at 19 and I did it during the COVID pandemic. And our government had a cashback scheme. So it ended up giving me $42,000 back in cash. So that was more than the deposit that I paid down for it. So that was really exciting. So that was definitely a big boost to my family that we don't take for granted, that's for
That's
sure. But yeah, pretty
incredible.
crazy.
That's insane. At 19 years old.
Yeah, pretty mad. And we now rent it out, and in the COVID market, we're very fortunate that we rented out for more than we
Yeah, I
paid
was
it
gonna
for.
ask you, are
So
you like renting it or doing Airbnb or something like that now that you're not living there?
No, we have tenants at the moment. The rental market back where I'm from is pretty crazy. Like we were expecting to have like one or two families interested in it, but there was a bit of a bidding war. We had like 13
Oh
families
my
like try and get in.
God.
It was crazy. Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, my fiance and I, we bought a house down in Tennessee back, I think it was like April. So it was probably been like a year now, actually, that his name has been on the house. But I remember when he was looking, it was it was absolutely insane. Like he bid like 25K over on this house just so he could get it, which is ridiculous. Like the housing market in the United States is the same. It's just like through the roof. Expensive.
Yeah, it's just absolutely nuts. It's the same in the UK. The UK is pretty crazy, but my partner and I were now looking to buy a van and just travel full time. We kind of do that rather than tie ourselves down to one place for a little while. It's just not worth it for us to, right now. Not when we haven't decided 100% where we want
So
to live.
you have a van that you're like renovating right now, or?
We're about to. We've just put
Oh,
down the
that's so
down payment on
exciting.
one. So,
I've seen so many
yeah.
people doing like the whole van life for a few months to a year, and they love it. Like just a very minimalist, small life.
Yeah, it's definitely the right step for people that want to be a bit more free and also want to save a bit of money, especially in this economy. We couldn't really find a house that we wanted to rent that was in our budget, so we just decided to move
Yeah,
forward with that
I think
decision
that would
instead.
be really cool
So,
if you could like travel all around the UK and like Europe and just like experience everything, and you're not locked into one place, which is really cool.
exactly, and I'm married, so I'm just coming up to my first wedding anniversary this month. So,
So
yeah. So, my husband and I want to celebrate on the go rather than,
yeah,
just tied
no,
up in one
that'll be
place.
really
So,
really cool. Good for you. Yeah.
thank you.
So I know that the past few months have been. Oh my god, my dog is in the background with his bowl. So I saw a few of your TikTok videos the past few months, and if you're open to talking about it, one of the big things was you were talking about your mental health, and like as a business owner myself, like I totally get the whole, constant pressure of like success, and like I feel like this is definitely something that's not. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna take this away from you.
Don't stress.
Crazy dog. Anyway, I know this is something that's not like talked about enough in this space. So if you're open to it, would you want to share a little bit more about like your experience and like your mental health journey like with running the business? Because I know scaling a business that quickly can definitely be super stressful and take a toll on you.
Yeah, so I struggled a lot with my mental health when I was scaling my business. I ended up having like a full mental breakdown just because I really struggled to separate like myself from like working and relaxing. I'd put in 18-hour days. I would get up at like 2 a.m. to just smash out work. It would just be work constantly, and I would never have a life outside of work. And then I also had the opposite extreme of that when I got sick. Um, I was really, really sick and I needed time off, but then I really enjoyed having rest that I kind of didn't force myself to go back to work as soon as I could have. So I've definitely seen the extremes of both sides of the mental health, and I have also felt a lot of anxiety as a business owner and trying to be a perfectionist as a business owner. Always having to have more clients, always having to be the best, even though the best is impossible. And people aren't paying for the best when they book with you; they're paying to work with you. That was a big life lesson that took me a while to learn. I should have learned
Yeah,
it a
no,
lot
I
sooner, but
totally
hey,
get
here we
that. I
are.
feel like everyone online like just talks about their wins all the time. They're like, "Oh, I made this amount of money in like, this amount of months," and then it's like, "Oh, why am I not there?" And it's like the whole imposter syndrome takes over, or like, you feel like you're always behind with everything. Like I know I was in a similar boat back in probably like the summer where, I wasn't getting enough clients and that was causing me a lot of stress, and then vice versa. I had so many clients a few months later, and it was like so much stress, and I'm like, I can't handle all this, like so many mixed emotions here. So yeah, I totally get that. It's insane.
It's a different kind of stress. Like you quit working full time to like pursue a less stressful life, and you end up juggling way more responsibilities than you
I
ever
know
thought you
you
were
wear
juggling
so
your
many
entire
hats as a
life.
business owner, and you don't realize that until you're like in the trenches actually doing the work. You first start out and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna like get on Fiverr and start like writing for people or doing like services for people, and it's simple. It's very simple in the beginning, and then as you grow and expand and like you start to see like, oh, there's finances involved. Like you need to start promoting yourself. You need to start doing, you know, all sorts of stuff that you never imagined, and it just like it hits you really quickly, especially when you're doing it all alone. But can you not for like 2 seconds? I'm so sorry. He's just like all over the place. He's a very needy dog.
Just don't even stress it. I'm so sick, so I'm just here. I'm just
Yeah.
enjoying myself. I'm just
Well, I
like,
hope you
yep.
feel better soon. We can definitely end this call a little bit early because I know you need your rest and stuff if you're sick. So, but I'm so glad you were able to hop on and just chat for a little bit. And as always, like if you ever need anything, feel free to reach out. And for anyone that's tuning in, where can they find you if they want to work with you or if they just want to follow you on social? Where can they find you?
Yep. So you can find me on Instagram at Kia Marie underscore writes. And you can also find me at LinkedIn at Kia Marie. I do SEO, copywriting, UX writing, and also I help freelancers get started with their own business and help them scale too. So if you're interested in any of those things, don't hesitate to
Awesome. Well,
reach out
thank
to
you so
me.
much for joining. And yeah, I look forward to chatting again. If you ever want to hop on another live, we
Okay.
can we can do that. Yeah.
Oh, of course, I
You
would
as
love
well. Hope you
to.
feel
See you
better.
soon.
Bye.